home run by Murphy in the first. Thinking of home runs, the Mets out-homered the Dodgers 7-2 in their NLDS series. The Cubs have out-homered the Pirates and Cardinals combined 12-8. So home runs have been a big role. You just talked about the teams being 1-2 in homers after the All-Star break in the league, and that's carried right over into the postseason.
Yeah, and as long as the wind conditions stay the way they are, and I don't see it changing, the home run ball probably will be a bigger factor in this ball game tonight, Pat.
Well, let's see if Anthony Rizzo can get a hold of one against Matt Harvey. 1-0 New York, second inning. Rizzo hits a high pop fly. It is playable on the right side for Murphy. The second baseman will make the catch halfway between first and second, almost in the baseline. And that's out number one. Rizzo just missed.
Yeah, Anthony got a good pitch to hit. That was a fastball down the middle, just under the belt. And he had the barrel right on it, just hit it straight up. Just missed underneath.
Harvey missed all of the 2014 season following Tommy John surgery, which he had 2 years ago this week. But he rehabbed all last season. And he's pitched very well this year, an ERA of under 3. Starlin Castro at the plate. Cubs trail 1-0 second inning. Starlin takes outside, ball one. Most of the Cubs playing in their first ever league championship series. The only two in the lineup that have played in an LCS before would be David Ross and John Lester. There's a strike, 1-1. Dexter Fowler had some playoff experience with Colorado as he played in the NLDS against the Phillies back in 2009. Here's a ground ball to third, scooped up by David Wright. The throw to first, 2 down. Castro bounces out to third. Cubs trail by a run. Second inning, and here's Jorge Soler.
Well, so far, Harvey has had good command of his fastball and his breaking ball. That pitch was a fastball on the outside corner. And Starlin tried to pull that ball and just hit a routine ground ball to right.
Soler had a big series against the Cardinals. 13 plate appearances. He was 4 for 7 with 2 home runs, and he walked 6 times. Every time you turned around, he was on base against St. Louis. Soler will take a strike.
Jorge around batting practice today seemed okay with the cold weather. In this ball game's got the ski mask on at home plate.
Here's the 0-1 to Soler. Breaking ball is in for a strike. 0-2. Fans start to stand. It does get loud here. Most of the fans very close to the field. Harvey comes back 0-2. Strike 3 call. Soler never took the bat off his shoulder. Cubs do nothing in the second. We go to the bottom half. Mets 1, Cubs nothing on the Xfinity WBBM Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs push through the postseason with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay review, scores, StatCast, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get MLB.com at bat now. Pat.
Okay, Mark, thank you. We go to the bottom of inning number 2. Travis d'Arnaud first up for New York. Michael Cuddyer to follow, and then Wilmer Flores. Mets lead 1-0. A first-inning home run by Daniel Murphy is the difference. For John Lester, it's the 8th time in his career he's pitched Game 1 of a postseason series. d'Arnaud, a right-handed batter, takes down low for ball 1. And in those previous 7 Game 1 starts, his career ERA 2.74. But that's a real honor for a guy, Ron, to start Game 1 of any postseason series.
Boy, without question.
Here's a line drive into right center. That's going to fall in for a base hit, a soft single. d'Arnaud hit one off the end of the bat. It looped in between Fowler and Soler in shallow right center field.
d'Arnaud dumps this ball into right field, but all the way to first, I think his body was vibrating as he's still shaking his hands and trying to get feeling in his fingers at first base. I think that pitch broke the bat, as you said, Pat. It hit him off the end of the bat. It is chilly and breezy on the field. Temperature probably dropping now somewhere closer to 45 degrees as it gets later in the night.
Michael Cuddyer, former Minnesota Twin, stands in and takes inside from John Lester. Lester 3-3 in those Game 1 starts that we mentioned a minute ago. He started the opener of the series against the Cardinals 8 nights ago in St. Louis and lost to the Cardinals. Bouncer over the mound. It'll be gloved by Baez. Steps on second, throws to first. Double play. Great play by Javier Baez. On a tricky hop, the ball almost bounced and hit the second base bag. On a difficult short hop, Baez grabbed the ball, stepped on the bag, avoided the sliding d'Arnaud, and made the throw to first. Magnificent play.
Boy, just great footwork and concentration, Pat. As you said, catching this ball first is the bag became part of the issue. And then as he's past the bag, he reaches back with his right foot and just kicks the side of the bag and gets it just enough, and then is able to set his feet and make a strong throw. Outstanding double play by Baez.
Wilmer Flores at the plate, takes outside. It's always good when a young player gets involved and makes a good play early. That'll give him some confidence.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, that was a difficult play to have as your first play here in this series.
Fly ball to right, slicing toward foul territory and out of play. I was worried from my angle, Ron, that the ball was going to bounce either on one of the sides of second base or right on top of the bag, which always makes it almost impossible to glove.
Yeah, if it hits the bag, there's big trouble for the Cubs. It bounced probably 6 inches in front of the bag, and Baez made a nice pick and then just continued to play.
Lester misfires low and outside with a fastball. 2 down, nobody on. Both teams without their starting shortstops for this series. Ruben Tejada out with a broken leg. Flores swings and fouls it back. Flores playing short. Actually, Flores made more starts at short this season than Tejada did. Tejada was playing against the Dodgers because Terry Collins wanted to get a little more defense in the lineup. Flores is a better offensive player than Tejada, but not quite as good of a defender. Now the 2-2 to Flores. And he takes one that bounces in there and almost hits him. Both teams played very well in the regular season in their home park. In fact, they had the exact same record at home. Cubs and Mets 49 and 32 in front of their home crowds. Flores had 16 home runs this season. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a bouncer toward third, glove by Bryant, makes his first play. Good throw to Rizzo to end the inning. Mets don't score. Despite a leadoff single, we move to inning number 3. Mets 1, Cubs nothing. This is the Xfinity WBBM Cubs Radio Network.
Never strike out with Gold Coast Bank's high-yield money market account and fast local lending decisions. Visit goldcoastbank.net today. Again, that's goldcoastbank.net. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At DeVry University's Keller Graduate School of Management, we're looking for the driven and self-directed. Those determined to stand on their own merits, but never stand still. If you're this kind of student, you're our kind of different. And we're offering a merit-based Career Catalyst Scholarship with a lifetime award of up to $8,000 for qualified new students. Keller Graduate School of Management. Different on purpose. Learn more at keller.edu.
Subject to approval and availability of funds for students starting in July 2015.
Whether it's your pitcher, catcher, or first baseman, a great team relies on their most valuable player. And ComEd's new smart meter will be the MVP your home needs to become a champ at managing electricity use. These digital electric meters provide you access to more electricity usage information, plus optional pricing programs to help you drive home savings. Find out when smart meters are being installed near you at ComEd.com/smartmeter today. ComEd, powering lives.
Progress is momentum's march to change, an impetus of evolution from the arbitrary to the...
What? What does that even mean?
It means AT&T and DirecTV are centrifuging.
Okay, so is DirecTV satellite service improving?
Well, no. It's still a problem when it's really rainy, or snowy, or windy, or...
Is AT&T's internet finally getting faster?
No, not faster. Definitely not faster. It's... Look, I'm trying to sell people on this thing by using fancy words like impetus to make it sound cool. But it's basically the same old stuff.
Oh, I see.
The fastest internet and the best in entertainment is already here with the X1 Entertainment Operating System, only from Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas.
Well, Game 2 of the ALCS wrapped up earlier tonight. Kansas City beats Toronto 6-3, the final score. The Royals with a 5-run rally against David Price in the 7th inning. Price, the losing pitcher. And so, the Royals in charge of that series. They lead it 2-0. Game 3 in Toronto on Monday. Back.
And Mark, thank you. Your timing is impeccable because we were just going to take a look at the Race to the Fall Classic presented by Sprint. Learn more about the Sprint Satisfaction Guarantee at sprint.com/Chicago Network. Third inning, Javier Baez will lead things off. David Ross and John Lester to follow against Matt Harvey. Baez takes high for a ball. Ronnie has heard Mark give the score of the KC win over Toronto. I keep thinking back to Game 4 of the LDS against Houston when the Royals were down by 4 runs in Houston, facing elimination, just 6 outs away when they put together a huge 8th inning rally. Ended up winning the game 9-6 after trailing 6-2 going into the 8th, and they haven't lost since.
Yeah, they're a good fundamental team, Pat, and they know how to score runs. They do a lot of little things right, but boy, you talk about some clutch hitting. They got it today.
So Kansas City up 2-0. It's kind of unusual to have one league have 2 games in the bank already, and the other league having played just 2 innings. Baez hits a big chop to short, fielded by Flores, and he'll throw to first, and it is just in time. Flores almost waited back, a little bit nonchalant. Baez hustling out by an eyelash at first.
Pat, there's going to be a time in this series where one of the Cubs hitters is going to end up beating out a throw to first base. The Cubs runners, you know, you talk about Bryant and Baez and some of the guys that can really run. It's going to be one of those plays that is going to be laid back on, and the Cubs guy's going to beat this play. That was really close at first.
1-0 New York, a first inning home run by Daniel Murphy, the difference. Here is David Ross, and he takes outside for a ball. Nobody has reached so far against Harvey. Setting down the first 7 in a row, 3 on strikeouts. The 1-0 to Ross, a swing and a miss. The Mets have the blue shirts and the orange numbers. Bright white pants. They have the navy blue or dark blue hats with the orange bills. Black shoes. The 1-1 to Ross. David takes a fastball high. Cubs in their traveling grays tonight. The gray shirts and trousers, red numbers on the Cubs' backs, blue hats and helmets, sleeves and socks, and dark shoes. Ross had 1 home run during the regular season. Here's the 2-1. David takes a strike.
Boy, both guys have had pinpoint control so far in this game. All but one pitch for Lester where he made the mistake to Murphy down and in. That accounts for the only run, the home run by Murphy. But other than that, both guys have hit all the corners.
The 2-2. Russ drives one in the air down the line and left, hooking in the corner. That ball is going to go foul. It had the distance, but it hooked foul by about 10 feet in the left field corner area.
Well, that pitch was an off-speed pitch. I think it was a changeup to Ross, and he hits this ball. Gets it just off the end of the bat a little bit, but it just hooks foul. Probably a few feet. Rossi put a charge into it.
Now the 2-2 to David. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 from Matt Harvey. Cubs still without a base runner against the young Mets right-hander, and it brings up John Lester.
Harvey can rush it up there. He's topped out tonight at 96 miles an hour. John Lester's been 95 miles an hour with his heater. The speed gun all season long has been sponsored by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience sports.
Lester will take a strike. John, a left-handed batter. We mentioned he's a big man. 6'4", 240. The wind is blowing hard out to right tonight. Lester swings and misses. Just getting started in this best-of-7 National League Championship Series. Jake Arrieta against Noah Syndergaard tomorrow night, same time as this evening. A strike 2 by Harvey. Strike 3 call. 9 up and 9 down. 5 strikeouts for Harvey. We take it to the bottom of inning number 3. It remains Mets 1, Cubs nothing. It's game on of the National League Championship Series on the Xfinity WBBM Cubs Radio Network.
sponsored by Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience sports. And if you would like to get a hold of Cubs Radio, you can do so on Twitter at Pat and Ron on WBBM. You can also email Ron Coomer, Pat and Ron at WBBM-AM.com. Pat.
Okay, Mark, thank you. We move to the bottom of inning number 3. Juan Lagares will lead things off. Right-handed batting center fielder. Matt Harvey to follow, and then Curtis Granderson. 1-0 New York. Cool and breezy here in the Big Apple. Lagares will take outside for ball 1. Lagares, a .259 hitter during the regular season with half a dozen home runs. Bryant even with the bag at third. Lester comes back. There's a chopper foul. Good change of pace by Lester. 1-1.
Johnny's had good command so far. That last pitch, as you said, Pat, took a little off that ball and ran it away. So far, other than the one pitch to Murphy, he's hit both corners with all 3 pitches.
There's a good pitch right there on the outside edge. Imagine his game against St. Louis 8 nights ago in Missouri. Lester pitched well. He was just outpitched that game by John Lackey. Changeup is down low, 2-2. Lester worked 7 1/3. Gave up the RBI single early to Matt Holliday in the first inning. It stayed 1-0 St. Louis until the 8th when the Cardinals broke it open. Tommy Pham, a pinch hitter, homered off Lester. Here's the 2-2. It's high for a ball, and then later Stephen Piscotty against Pedro Strop hit a 2-run home run. The final score was 4-0, but Lester did not pitch badly. 1-0 New York, bottom of the 3rd. Lagares with a full count, the 3-2 pitch. A big bouncer back to the mound. Lester's got it, runs toward Rizzo and shovels it to Anthony in time for out number 1. Lester rarely will take a grounder on the mound and throw it from the mound. He likes to glove it and then run several steps toward first and make the underhanded running throw to Rizzo.
He's been good at it. He gives it the old pitch over to Anthony at first base. But once again, Pat, another really good pitch on a 3-2 count. Down and away, hit the corner against Lagares.
Matt Harvey, a good hitter. We've only seen him a couple of games, but you can tell he's an athlete. He had a win a couple of years ago in a game at Wrigley, and he also had a game-winning single, as I recall. It was against Edwin Jackson. He swings and pops it foul out of play, 1-1.
Yeah, the one thing with this pitching staff offensively is you talk about these guys swinging the bat. 52 hits on the year and 28 ribbies for the pitching staff for the Mets, both first in the major leagues.
Fastball strike at the knees on the outside edge, 1-2.
That was a heck of a note by Len Casper, because I would not have really looked up the pitcher's hitting stats all that much, Pat. I promise you that.
Here's the 1-2, down low for a ball. Great to have Len aboard. He's going to drop by in the 5th inning and do some play-by-play. He's been providing me with a lot of information, too, including the price of gold on the London Exchange. Here's a swing and a line drive toward right. On the run, Soler makes the catch. Foul territory. Gently collides with that side wall. Made a good play. There's only about 3 to 4 feet of foul space once you get into foul territory. So you have to be slowing down as you're chasing the fly ball and then reach out as you're slowing down. It takes a lot of coordination.
Yeah, Jorge, he was running hard and had to slam on the brakes. As you said, Pat, that ball was probably foul, but just foul. Jorge positioned perfectly, playing way around towards the line is the only reason he was able to catch that ball.
2 outs, nobody on. 1-0 Mets, bottom of the 3rd. Base is empty for Granderson. And Granderson takes outside. Now you got to be careful. I mentioned Granderson, 26 home runs. Cespedes hit 35, but many of those came with the Tigers before he was acquired. This guy actually led his team. Nobody hit more homers on the Mets this season than Curtis Granderson. And Ron, this is the spot that you've made me more aware of. 2 outs, nobody on, especially in a good condition for hitting. You're trying to yank one out of here.
Yeah, you are. You get a chance to get ahead in the count. 2 outs.
Granderson takes outside, 3-0.
Another factor, Pat, this season for Granderson, the hitting coach now for this Mets team, Kevin Long, is responsible for changing Granderson's setup in New York with the Yankees when he really had some big years offensively. And now Long is the hitting coach here for the Mets.
The 3-0, and Granderson takes the strike.
If you remember, they shrunk, they got him into a crouch, spread his feet out, and pushed his hands back, and since he's done that, he's been a different hitter.
He pulls the bouncer foul toward first. The feet are spread much wider than shoulder width, and it's a fairly severe crouch that he hits in. Like you said, he keeps the hands back, and he can generate a lot of bat speed. Very likable man, Curtis Granderson, Chicagoland native. The 3-2 pitch. Popped up foul off to the left and out of play.
Yeah, he's done a lot of good. I know just from being around a lot of the high school coaches, he donates a lot of money and time to the High School Coaches Association, University of Illinois, Chicago. He's been a great citizen in the city of Chicago.
The payoff by Lester to Granderson fouled away. John challenged him that time. Again, the wind is blowing straight out, especially toward right center. But any ball hit to right or right center is going to get some serious carry. And now the 3-2 from the lefty. Line toward short, caught by Baez. A soft line drive ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Lester pitching well. Let's see if the Cubs can get some runs for him. We move to inning number 4. Mets 1, Cubs nothing on the Xfinity.